We're in Matthew chapter 5 today, looking at the words of Jesus, starting in verse 43. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven, for He makes His sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. You know, the people who treat Christianity as some sort of namby-pamby soft religion for the weak really haven't taken the time to examine the teachings of Jesus very carefully. Just take a look at Jesus' words. Love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Putting those kinds of words into practice really isn't for the weak of heart. Recently, I went through a personal business deal where the other party, at least it seemed to me, suddenly started getting nasty and making unreasonable demands. Now, just in case I was in the wrong about the matter, I consulted some of the best people I could find on the subject, and everybody agreed I was absolutely right. The problem was that no matter how right I was, this guy was threatening to make my life miserable if he didn't get his way. Now, my natural reaction was pretty much predictable. It made me angry and frustrated. What right did this guy have to waste a day and a half of my time making his unreasonable demands? Knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that I would win, I was tempted to take the matter to a lawyer and teach this guy a lesson. But then the words of Jesus popped into my mind, and I had to admit I hadn't done the one thing Jesus would have asked of me. I hadn't prayed for this guy. So my wife and I got down on our knees in the living room and took the whole matter to God's throne, where you're going to find a lot more wisdom than any law firm has to offer, no matter how good they might be. We claimed the promises of God's Word and then left the matter with Him. Within a matter of hours, amazing things began to happen. The problem just began sorting itself out. Phone call after phone call started coming to our house, indicating that the matter was being worked out. And by the end of the day, we pretty much had a resolution that gave this guy what he was looking for without causing me additional grief. Now, it doesn't mean I'm never going to have another problem with this guy or that I've found a way to coast through the rest of my life, but it does mean that Jesus really knows what He's talking about. God is always going to be your best option when it comes to navigating the problems of life. After all, He's the only one who really knows the hearts of everybody involved in a dispute, including yours. And if you give God leave to handle the problems, He's going to surprise and delight you with just how capable He is. In fact, when parties are in dispute, God has an uncanny way of ending it by giving everybody concerned a better way to live.